and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I don't think anybody will fall into 2 minutes. Usually it's some minutes, right? Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming. First order of tonight's business is the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting of 4/4/2000. Oh no, it's
2.202.
202. That was a long time ago. I think it's supposed to be 2022.
Sorry.
Motion to accept?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any deletions, corrections, or anything? Then none, those in favor? Okay, I'll take a second to sign it. Now, Selectmen's comments, Alan.
We're still waiting to hear back from the ventilation guy, correct? He was supposed to get back to me on what I asked him a couple questions, but he hadn't. I just sent him another email again today to ask him what's going on, so hopefully it's not a sign.
Okay. Yeah, we should get going on that as soon as possible. Dale?
Nothing.
Jason?
Okay, just a few things. First of all, we saw that Dale Reno finished the work at the old townhouse and did a very good job, and
Yep.
and he donated the labor, right?
I did.
So I think we ought to send him a thank you card of some
I
sort.
think we should. There is some more that needs to be done to that, and some of the molding is really antique molding and stuff. Gotta go out there and climb around and see if it can be repaired, or if it's gotta be taken down or redone or whatever, but, I'd like to go out for, bids to, paint it as soon as possible.
Allison wanted me to bring up, and we both been working on this. As you know, the Route 1 out here has a 45 speed limit from the taste of Maine up to south of the industrial park, then it goes to 55, and then it goes back to 45. And it was done purposely by DOT. I called Devin Eaton the other day. There's some ruling about Route 1 and Federal Highway that there had to be some section of 55. It doesn't make any real sense. Allison has written him and some other DOT folks an email to see what we could do to fix that.
So bad.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make any sense at that short stretch. I don't know if you all know what I'm talking about, but you've noticed it.
I did.
We got a bunch of-
I assumed they just forgot to change it.
No, they actually installed the signs. They weren't taking, it wasn't.
It's totally different than what I was told.
Yeah.
I was told it was gonna be 45 by the end of Shaw Road,
Yeah.
That's what I heard the same thing, Jim.
okay?
But
And then they put these up,
now, I don't see where they've dropped the speed limit at all coming south.
They have. It's 45 south of the north entrance of the George Wright Road. There's a 45 sign. But it's not as far as I think we thought. But this 1,000 feet or so of 55 is just, I mean, a lot of people have called and called my father and called me, called Allison. So Devin had said it was a Dave Allen thing, so I don't know if you have time to reach out to him.
it was timely, but it wasn't, it was the lady.
No.
She said she was overdated.
Right, but it's something to do with, get information from him. So we're working on it, and Allison has a written email in from us, but.
It doesn't make any sense. The people are just gonna speed up and they're gonna slow right back down.
I know. It's confusing. So the last thing I have is, there's been a lot of interest in putting a street light, on a pole at the Shaw Road, the south end of the Shaw Road. I mean, there's been a lot on Facebook, if anybody's seen it, and it's been asked for many, many times. I just want to tell the board, they talked to Patrick Voigt, who did the LED lights, and talked to Kim. It looks like our bill has been almost cut in half from the budgeted $4,500. We're budgeting the same amount this year. I'm just using an example. The Shaw Road would require a pole and a light and a bracket. He said it would cost around $35 a month. That's what we pay. But if we want to add some lights at various, and Glenn, I've seen you've been on Facebook talking about street lights here or there.
There should be a light there.
If there's some major intersections, we could easily do it and still be within our
I've had several
budget is
recent,
money.
I've had several recent requests to have a light at the end, at the north end of the George Wright Road.
Right, I saw that, and then I've seen Chops Cross Road, I've seen all kinds of different, but somebody's got this.
Several calls, I've had several calls about the George Wright Road. They say with the outcropping of ledge there and everything, if you're going south on a dark night, it's hard to find the intersection.
Well, if we decide we want to do one or two and start it, it is 2 to 3 months away from any installation.
And we don't pay for the installation, all we
No.
do is pay the monthly
Yeah,
charge.
he sent over, I sent it all to Kim, and he got back to me today, and Kim's done a rundown. It looks like our current street light bill is somewhere between $185 and $208 a month now. And we've been budgeting $4,500 a year because of the previous lights were more expensive.
What did we budget in the new budget?
45, we budgeted the same amount.
Same amount?
Yeah, we
So
did, yeah.
we could add a couple of three and stay under that number, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Why don't you look into what ones make sense? and can-
Well, and feedback is good, but obviously the major intersection, I mean, it does seem like in this day with more traffic.
Shaw Road really needs one going.
Yeah, there's been a lot of, if you notice, there's the double reflectors on the south end, and there's been a lot of people that just keep going on.
We've had this ongoing for years, and we've been trying over the years to add reflectors, because there's been many people say they can't see turning.
Right.
I mean,
Why-
I haven't heard anything about it, but I appreciate that it's
I
there.
saw there was one on Newman's of Woolwich about that. Anyway, so the only other things is you guys have a copy of the handout, Allison, we worked on over the weekend for town meeting, so we need to review that and see what you think. And I don't know what else, I think that's about it.
I have nothing, but why don't we take a minute right now and review this handout while we get the floor.
Yeah. There's your report, Alan, you've got one over there, right?
Right.
If you read them, they're somewhat self-explanatory, but.
Right. And we kind of redid the language in number 4. By number, I do away with the list.
We did, yep.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
5A is the,
Is the
yep, amount of time.
1.4 million if we have it.
Yep.
Times one grants, that's good enough. 6 makes sense. 11, no, 11's wasted time.
It is. The only question there, do you see that, Kim?
Yeah, she sent me an email on that, and I looked, and I have not seen anything that it still is in effect. I told her I'd look a little bit
Okay.
harder, see if, I mean, all COVID restrictions have been lifted, so I would assume that it's gonna have to be written
All
down.
right, so you see that note at the bottom?
I know,
Yeah.
it would be nice if we could still do it by voice vote.
The only thing that was confusing is if you read about Edgecombe, they were still allowed to do a referendum vote because and so I was confused about when do they, is it in June or is it?
Yeah, I'll reach out to MMA and ask them.
Okay, it saves time if we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because the whole thing about voting on that LD1 thing is, there's nobody to report it to.
Right.
I mean, they did away with the board that was supposed to report the outcome of that too. So it's, it's a ludicrous waste, but they won't let us stop doing it.
Yeah. Do you like 12A and B? That's kind of how we explain the reval.
I have to tell every privately owned property, every 7 since 2005, the town has returned
Oh, you mentioned that,
1,000.
that will cover the full cost.
It
It should.
Right.
It should cover the full cost, and then we will go out for an RFP if it's approved. Aren't we? Is that-
It says that in there.
Oh, does it in there?
Yeah, so in here, the article says, 12A and B, it says, so A is the 100,000, you raise and appropriate. B is the 100,000 from ARPA. C is to authorize select board to issue an RFP and
Okay.
enter an
All right,
agreement.
that's fine.
Yeah, so, but we were just kind of worded there a little different.
Yep.
13, 14, and 15, you can get the gist of those. Right? 16 is health insurance, 17 is, should be codes. Then we did explain the E and F. Do you remember how we had the 6,000 for?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says it right there. It's the same amount of money, only split up. And obviously 18, the park, Sue's not here, but the budget, we want to make sure that it didn't go away, it just got combined, right?
Right, that's where we moved,
Right. The park committee has a 0, but it went over to the park
Right.
maintenance.
right.
I reached out to Juanita for an explanation for hers
Yeah.
on 23, and then you can see it's fairly detailed there, that's what it is.
Pretty short explanation.
Well, it was a little longer, I think, but Allison let it chop it up. No, I don't know.
MMA supply service, all the units building will be paid off this year.
Yep, that's a nice note, last payment, yep.
Produced and offset.
Yeah,
Some of the.
Allison's trying to work on that solar array thing a little more.
Plans approved the town 8 miles of unpaved roads, makes sense. Do this.
44 was the increase in the fees. I think it was the,
The EMS budget.
yeah, 40, yeah, 40 was. And then 44 was the marijuana fees.
Right. Which is gonna come in, very handy if nobody turns in a formal application until after town meeting.
Yeah, right.
We've got, what, 3?
Well, let's think of it this way, we don't meet again until after town meeting,
Right.
so
So,
we're already,
because we have, I think, 3 new marijuana businesses buying to come to Woolwich.
right, I think we did Farley's, right? Didn't we do the recreational for Farley's, or they already did the placeholder?
So he's already.
Anyway, that's all that, if you got something you wanna change.
That looks good. You guys always do a good job on that, thank you. Okay, public comments. Now's the time to talk to us about anything that's not on the agenda. If it's on the agenda, please wait for it to come up. Debbie?
I do, I have two things. In the town report, we need to update the Boston Post cane list because it doesn't have Jerry Edgerly as the present holder.
It's
I
right,
thought
it's
it
right
was
at
at
the
the very
top.
top.
It's
Oh,
right-
okay.
It's right at the top.
All right, I just didn't look at the list.
I was
The other-
like,
Yeah, good
okay,
deal.
thank you.
The other thing is that on the January 3rd select board meeting, it came up in selectmen's comments that propane detectors were gonna be procured for 2 for this building, 1 for the North Fire Station, and 1 for the meeting house. Every time I walk into the meeting house, I can smell propane ever since the second heater was put in. But I don't know anything about whether those detectors have ever been,
Fire chief is
Procure.
gonna do that.
Yep.
And,
Right, I don't know if you,
probably got lost in the transition.
yeah, because if you recall, we were talking about hiring somebody, and they said, no, we can
No,
take
Mike,
care of it.
Mike came over and said he was getting the information on it, and that was back in January, and
Yeah,
Well,
I'll have to wrangle that up, I guess.
Well-
cause we were, that passed, in what,
I think-
January, the law, so we'll be in violation.
I think Dead River could supply.
First I heard of it.
yeah. Thank you.
There was a big thing on TV about that today, after those 3 guys got killed up in Montville. They're really pushing that everybody in private homes that have propane, get a propane detector.
I guess I better get in the propane detector business.
I guess they're not all that expensive. I think they're no more expensive than a, smoke
The
detector.
question is whether they have to be hardwired or their battery. That's what I'll have to check, because I'm not sure in this building they can be battered.
sorry, David, I'm still your book to you.
Yeah.
No, well, oh, that's all right, I know it's at the top, because I looked, Debbie, I caught
Oh,
the same.
good, good.
I caught the
It
I
same-
know
probably
it's
is.
in there.
It's in bold right across the
Yeah,
top.
it's very, at the very
Yep.
top.
Yep,
Thank you.
thank you.
Trust us, we wouldn't lie to you in public.
No, no,
All right.
that's that either.
Anybody else, public comments? Seeing none? Road Commissioner, Jack, how did we survive the storm today?
Pretty fair, I guess, with a few limbs and trees here and there, but I didn't have anything real serious. Lost our power at the shop for an hour or 2, and other than that, quite well.
I see that dead tree that's been laying on the wire on the Walker Road for months is finally down.
Yes. You have any complaints, any problems?
Nope.
I guess we're in pretty good shape. I've been doing some grading and, trying to keep up with the weather, and so we're doing pretty good. I'm still pursuing my paving, people. Getting close, getting narrowed down.
Just real quick, what's your opinion of the ditching down here by DOT? Have you seen the
Good,
lake,
yeah.
have you seen the lake at the bottom of the
Yeah.
hills?
Yeah. like anything else they've done for us, I guess.
Evidently, they haven't figured out the water doesn't run uphill well.
That's another chapter. You know, really, in all due respect, they haven't really done anything that I can see that we've asked for. Okay, not at this point. And, so be it, I guess.
Anybody have any questions for Jack? Okay, moving on, codes enforcement, Bruce.
Things are picking up a little bit. Issued a new modular home permit today. A septic system, replacement system, another one for the new modular, an internal plumbing permit. Things are looking up.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Bruce?
No, we see the planning board has a very busy agenda tonight.
11 items.
Very,
I
very
think
good.
that's too many for one night.
Yeah.
I really do. I voiced my opinion and concerns to Greg. I don't think that's even close to being reasonable. You get 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, people aren't too interested in talking about the facts of the matter. They're more interested in talking about where the door is.
Good luck.
All right, we'll move on. Brian, EMS.
Since the last select board meeting, there were 12 calls. 10 of those were transports, which included a transfer back to Woolwich from Midcoast Hospital and a mutual aid run to Dresden for Wiscasset's. We also used MC1 5 times. There was a lot of sick patients the last couple of weeks. The new tires are on Rescue 2, and Rescue 1 will be switched over soon. Should be this week, if it hasn't already happened yet, from winter to summer tires. Other than that, things are going good.
Rescue 1 is the new truck,
Correct.
and 2 is the old truck.
Correct.
Anybody have any questions for Brian? Okay. Fire Chief, Mr. Kirkpatrick.
Since we left, we had 3 trees this morning, 1 smoke investigation and 1 PI crash. Other than that, that's all we had.
What did you say, one?
1
Crash?
PI crash,
Oh.
one smoke investigation, and 3 trees down. They were all this morning.
Okay.
Mutual aid for Dresden to close the road at 128, Walker Road and Meadow Road. So, a lot of dead trees. I can't believe we didn't have more this morning because they were moving.
From a county perspective, we were the hardest hit. I didn't see any other towns going out, but we were out, or the fire department was out the whole morning dealing with it, so I don't know why we alone, but it was us.
That one on Meadow Road burned for an hour and a half before CMP showed up. They usually don't burn once the transformer blew. That thing burned and they had to put it out when they dropped it down. I was surprised. But as hot as it rained, but that's all I got. I'll check on those propane things.
Yes, we would.
It was very nice of Brian to just send me the link.
Like $30. Won't be a huge hit.
All right. Any questions for Fire Chief?
No,
Okay.
thank you, Glenn.
Any old business? Nothing on here.
No, I just have some new stuff too.
New business. Mike Sinton, Bathwater District report.
So Bath Water District is chugging along. We're doing repairs, pipe repairs, you know, anywhere that we can find or find that there's a leak. There was a big leak over by BIW and went through and repaired that. So it's just doing the maintenance on the day-to-day basis. The projects that we have going on are the treatment plant. The treatment plant now has 3 filters. The first, and because of the 3 filters, we're able to take one filter offline. So the number 1 filter was refurbished, painted, and new media is being put into it. That's phase 2 of the project. So we hope that those, those filters will be upgraded, and then we can get the plant seems to be working. The water quality is good, the filters are doing what they're supposed to be doing. New media seems to be working well, so the new media for the water to go through. So it's an ongoing project, but more importantly is that it's upgraded those filters and gives us the flexibility of taking one offline if we need to for maintenance. The other projects is the road construction by Taste of Maine over here. We do have a water line that goes through that road construction. It's on top of the culvert that's gonna have to be replaced. So that all is in the process. Right now, it's stable. Our situation is stable because they're doing the bypass road for the construction of the new road. And so they're incorporating all that, but we're on top of it, watching what's going on. And part of that project is the Middle Road project that would do a bypass for that bypass of that project. The new pipeline going down to Fawcett and then down Middle Road to Bath as part of the major supply to Bath and West Bath and,
Mike, do you have a timeline on that, when they're gonna start that project down the middle?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a timeline when they're gonna start the project down the middle road?
I think what they're thinking about is like 9 months. But, you know, I'm not on speed where that timeline is what we're doing. But for the Middle Road?
I just was wondering when it's going to start, and I was wondering.
Right, Middle Road, we're hoping to get going this summer.
Thank you.
We'll see. I mean, it's funding, it's approval, it's pipe, supply, pipe to get the pipe into from the suppliers, because there is this backlog on that. But the good news is the fact that we've had that project approved and it's up for funding, we should be able to offset the total cost of it, which is gonna be about $8 million. We should offset that total cost by about 45% with federal funds and state funds. So, and then, the benefit of it is it's gonna give us a second supply to Bath and West Bath. It's gonna provide water service for people up and down the Fawcett Road, and it's gonna, or Middle Road, and then it's also gonna provide fire hydrants, which I understand may help some of the homeowners as far as their fire protection, as far as reducing the cost of the fire protection. But we're gonna get, and then we'll have the situation with the dump and mitigating that situation. So I think there's a lot of benefits to it. Some people are saying, well, maybe we ought to wait till the prices go down. Well, the problem is the interest rate's going up. So if you wait for the prices to go down, the interest rate's gonna go up, so you're gonna be caught in the middle of that. So we figured that these funds are available. They're gonna go to some community, it might as well go to us. And the funds are available to do the construction. So we're in the design phase of that. We need to get the bids out, and that's, I think, gonna go.
Louisville has a class, she's taking new clerks training, and I had to have her take it. And her class is from 9 to 5. So I told her that she's gonna have to leave early from the class, so I told her 9 to 4. So I think that's fine if she comes over at 4.
Yeah.
But, and do you still wanna close at 3, or do you wanna do 4?
I think we should still close at 3, because don't we have to meet and take things over?
We have to meet,
They wanna either
sack
take-
stuff up.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 o'clock.
Just close the office at 3.
Okay.
They need to grab a sandwich or whatever they gotta do.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because that is,
Just make sure you put that out on every form of media we have.
I know,
and the
Dale will
sign-
still get a phone call.
The sign on the
What?
side.
Oh,
because we closed early or whatever.
Before we leave tonight, write Dale a note.
Yeah, put it on his shirt.
So while we're on that, do we need, what time do you want us here? Like, we usually have to take over some stuff, right?
We
Ballot
just
box?
have to take over, what, one ballot box, and
You got any of the?
we don't need any of the COVID stuff at all, the protectors or
Okay.
screens or anything like that, so.
Okay.
We don't need voting booths or anything.
Nope,
You don't need-
no,
Allison's lined up,
You should have some, pre-printed yes or no ballots
Yeah,
of
we will.
different colors so that we can,
Yeah.
if anybody requests a written
Secret ballot,
ballot
yeah.
on any particular item, we can say we're gonna use the pink one or the blue one
Okay,
or whatever.
yeah. All right, so we will do that.
and we're doing the microphone testing on Monday,
Okay.
4:30.
At the school?
Yeah, Allison and I are going over to meet with the principal, and that was when the school's free to do it, so I bought all that stuff after last year's. So we should have 2 wireless mics, we should be able to have a wireless mic for the select board.
Do you have anybody to run them?
We do, we wind, I think that, Blueberries, 1 or 2 of Blueberries'
Hello?
children or kids,
Hi.
I think, so what we're thinking real quickly is a wired mic for John, a wireless mic for the board, a wireless mic for the runner, and then a wired mic in the front out in the audience, so that would
Everybody
give us.
wants to walk up.
Yeah. Yeah, so hopefully we'll figure it out one way or the other before.
I don't think we had a lot of controversy this year, so I don't know how big it was.
I don't think it really had much.
I mean, it's a shame. I would like to think that we'd have a good turnout regardless of what's going on, but I think without any controversy, I think we're probably very small.
Yep.
Okay, let's move on to bank reconciliation expense report.
Yes, so Kim and I have been working on that, she's been doing most of the work, but she, going back through, she had a couple of glitches with January, February, March. She got January all figured out, she moved on to February. It's all very minor, like a $12 or $15, $30 discrepancy, but it's been really time consuming. So anyway, she's working on that, and we're catching up month to month. This in front of you is your expense detail. All I know is what she told us right before the meeting, that we're over on, if you go down through, you'll see the red ones, we're over on fuel for the heating for the town, for the municipal buildings. We have, we still have 90% of our contingency, or more than that, 98%. So,
I was told people would be good stewards of their
yeah, I think if you start on page 12, under 56 there, the Nequasit Park, we're overdrawn by the 3725 there, you see that? That is really because we've kind of started the project, but we haven't started the project, so we're not getting any grant money yet. We're not using any of our money. So this was the engineering money that just happened, all the bid money and all the stuff that we paid Pine Tree. So we'll have to figure that out, because we're gonna go into 2 different years on this. So we may have to figure, when we meet in June, we may have to, or at the end,
We're gonna have to make this right.
right.
By the end of June, we should have enough in the contingency to do that.
We do right now, yeah. If you go to page 14, you'll see that we're over $1,183 on the Dead River, propane.
Propane went crazy this good.
Which we understand why.
So if we had 37 and 1183,
Right. You got what, 48, 49, 100?
what do we got left in contingency?
We got 90, right now is 98, 99, most of it's there, 98, $900. You'll see it.
Okay, so we're still good at that point.
Yeah, page 16, we're over 689.45 on the sprinkler system, and we know why, sprinkler.
We had that issue with the
Yeah,
compressor running all the time.
Yeah, if you look up,
They had to come and fix that.
yeah, if you look up above in October, there's a leak check thing, that was $350, there's a bunch of expenses there.
Yeah, unresolved leak check, and they came back a second time to fix it.
Yeah.
That was, notice with the air compressor down in the basement was running constant.
And then, I think we're,
27.
oh, good, thank you. Yeah, page 27, the $24 telephone. I think that's fine.
So,
Isn't that,
42, 291, 431.
Oh, there you go, 31, okay, okay. Yeah, 31, right? Under fuel for, so is this Brian's fuel or the fire department's fuel? You know how your fuel is?
Probably pretty close. My fuel lines are 311, so once you know, or my accounts are 311 or something,
Okay,
if that helps.
okay. But obviously you still have, you can juggle, right?
Yeah.
EMS,
EMS, yeah, but you can,
$160.
right now it says you're overdrawn $162 or $163, right?
I'm so sorry about that.
Kim, we already went ahead, we explained all the stuff you fixed about the checkbook, we're moving on to this. and
Okay, perfect.
We're doing all right, we're on,
Perfect.
we're just talking to Brian about fuel, but he's,
Okay, we get $8.31 on page 33.
33 is, yep, what is that? It's office supplies, that, and it is, I think it's still Brian's, right?
For some reason, debit card went over $8.31. We had an interest payment or something?
Interest payment for, office supplies?
Yeah.
33.
I don't think it's,
No,
it's not yours though, Kim, it's,
no, there's no,
it's,
usually US Bank usually has a late charge on it.
okay. That's still okay, and what was the next one, Dale?
And page 42, this one, if there isn't one before that.
Yeah, I don't see one.
42 is a, that's an abatement, that's,
Okay, so we're good on that,
we're
right?
good on that.
That's covered by the surplus.
Yep.
Sorry.
What I was gonna ask, because we used a lot of money, I don't know if this was brought up earlier, from municipal property reserve to fix the doors over at the fire station.
Yeah.
So we still have that catastrophic repair account. Should we take that money and transfer it out of there?
Right, so Kim, yeah,
Because
Kim,
that was,
yeah, she makes up a good point that our municipal building reserve money is getting very low.
well,
It's in the,
we've probably spent 12,000 or more,
yeah, it's in the low 20s right now.
yeah. But we have that 10,000 in the catastrophic repair, which we named it it used to be the extractor
Right.
account.
Yep, right.
So we named it catastrophic repair, so I'm wondering if we can use it for that building repairs.
So if you notice the first two items on there, were the,
The only thing is though, between now and the end of June, that when the truck's full of transmission or something, we wouldn't have the money to fix that.
yeah,
So,
I mean, we can wait, I can transfer it at any
Yeah,
time,
we-
it's not an issue.
that, if we get right close to the end of the year,
right.
because we always replenish that catastrophic fund every year,
Yep,
so, remember, it's in here to replenish it. So, if we get right close to the end of the year, we haven't used that catastrophic fund for anything else, let's go ahead and use it to replace the doors.
okay.
Does that make sense?
It might make some sense in your explanations here too, as to what's happening with this. And why we're gonna have to take money out of the catastrophe
In the,
at town meeting.
okay, yeah. You mean what we use it
Yeah,
for?
yeah,
What we use it
because
for?
we haven't used it
Right.
in the past, to be,
Yeah.
Brian, how about, on your payroll, I think you were saying what, you can only do, what, 30?
Well, we've got 5 payroll periods left,
Yeah,
and he has 18,811 in payroll. And if you calculate that by 5, divided by 5, then you can only spend like $3,100, and you
Yeah,
normally do 50.
yeah, I'm right on between 5,000 and 6,000, depending
Yeah,
on call
so
volume.
you'll be,
So I'll be
short.
over on that, so, but I should have enough in the other accounts to, in the long run, the whole EMS budget will be in the black, even though that line will be significantly.
All right, you think you'll be all right?
you
Because that's what we,
think you got enough, and
Yeah, there's some things I'd like to buy, but we're holding off right now, so I should have plenty in my supply lines. As I mentioned in our budget meeting,
yeah,
that was, certain things we got out of allocation, so we didn't have to buy as much.
yeah, right there, yeah.
So I should have a significant chunk in either supply or, EMS supply.
we'll give it to him.
Right,
So
well-
I would think, reach out to Devin
Okay.
tomorrow and say, say, Devin, cut us a check.
He wants his money.
Well, yeah, and give the state that a copy of that?
Yeah.
Signed copy, and then,
Yeah.
that's the understanding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then, when,
What that's about, for anybody that's interested, is that we're gonna have a turnaround at the end of the, George Wright Road in Moore Place for the length of the closure, for the length of the project. And then, if he's not willing to let us continue using that, we've got a plan B, moving up on the hill and putting a turnaround up there.
And the state had offered to pay
Yes,
the state's paying the $5,000, which goes through the
The
town.
state wants the contract to be between the town and the property owner, but they are gonna pay the $5,000. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So, when we met with, Saginaw County for the, county hazard mitigation plan, they sent over the, adoption, the plan adoption, that needs to be signed by the select board. So, I have it here, I don't know if you wanna go over it first and read it before you guys wanna sign it.
Have you seen it, Brian?
I have the email, I haven't had a chance to look at it.
Yeah, it's very lengthy, so,
Can we wait till our next meeting?
Absolutely.
I was gonna say, is there any time frame? If there isn't, let's, put it in the signature file downstairs.
okay, and then you
we
guys
all
can
set
read
and
it when you'd like.
I don't
It's
think
pretty
we need to
lengthy.
make 5 copies of it or anything.
Okay.
We can sit down and read it,
Okay,
okay?
other than that, I don't have anything else.
And if everybody would please read it before the next meeting. Anything else?
That's it.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All right.
Oh, I won't be here tomorrow or Thursday.
Yep.
But I'll be around in the evening. I might come in Thursday afternoon, I don't know.